Hello, Rosebuds. Welcome back. Welcome back. Sorry, I know I've been gone for a little bit. However, I am so happy to be back with you guys now. Spirit put me on a little bit of ice, had me a little bit frosted over for a second because there was some more healing work that your girl needed to do. And I'm so glad that I took that time off. I haven't even been dating. Like, I'm going back on my first speed dating next Monday, and I'm excited. I've also been starting to receive, more advances and people asking, hey, can I see you? We're going to take on a date, things like that. But that's neither here nor there. Um, in today's video, we are going to be talking about our voices and how in our childhood they got silenced. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate. And I'm actually going to be going through a couple of TikTok videos that I will be posting in this video that discuss how a couple people voices got silenced at a young age, and it later caused major problems for them later on in life. I am one of them. I was told by my dad, you don't ask God why, you don't question your parents, you don't challenge your parents, you don't this, you don't do that. And as I've gotten older and I'm gone through more of my spiritual journey, I'm starting to realize where him saying don't ask us God why and don't question your parents, I should have been doing it all along. Because how am I going to get clarity on a situation if I don't ask God, why is this happening? What is it that I need to know? You know what I'm saying? So for my father to tell me don't ask God why, it's like saying you don't deserve clarity, because that's how my subconscious takes it. And that's how I've been moving my whole life. You get what I'm saying? I haven't been asking guys questions, asking enough questions. So therefore I get the answers I need to know, whether they're someone I need to be dealing with or not. You get what I'm saying? So I'm making this video about that. And the first course in the new Rose Garden University, now available on Skool, link is in the bio below, is talking about being accountable for what we was taught, not as a way to shame ourselves, but as a way to realize what we were taught and to change it. And the next course is going to be about our voice. So stay tuned. Click on the link below. Join the university RGU. It's only $10 a month. We will be having weekly Zoom calls, and I'm going to do those probably Monday afternoon, like late Monday afternoons, like a happy hour kind of thing. Is what we're going to be doing. I'm also going to be dropping new courses all the time, so definitely check back. Keep the notifications on once you join the university. There will be attachments that you can print off. There are videos that's not here on YouTube that are attached to those different courses available in Skool. Okay, like I said, I had some tea, I had some juice for y'all, I had some things to help you guys get through your healing journey a lot faster than I did. Spirit put me on ice because I needed to create the vessel to present that to you guys as easy as possible. Not only that, I needed the vessel to receive. So, like I said, $10 a month. It's jam-packed with plenty of information and things that you all can use, tools you guys can do. We're going to go through it little by little. My process or my program is more of a slow healing journey program because I don't want you guys to have to keep going through that boomerang effect. Okay, where you keep learning the same lesson over and over, dealing with the same devil in different vessels over and over, dealing with the same lesson in different situations over and over. I don't want you guys to go through that, because that's kind of what happened to me as I was growing up, because I was never aware, never a conscious never awoke to what subconsciously was holding me in stagnation of moving forward. Okay, but your girl is better now. I'm having that tickle in my throat chakra that always happens, and I later found out the reason why I get the tickles and the cough when I start to speak is because that's spirit's way of clearing my chakra so I can speak, because it has been blocked and shut down for so long where I really have not spoke my truth. But we're going to get on into these YouTube videos. And I'm gonna keep the camera myself. You guys can see my reaction because I'm gonna be probably like, yeah, and we gonna hash this out. Let's go. Tune in. Stay with us. Don't forget, check the description box below. Hit subscribe, hit like, ring that bell so you know whenever I post. Hey, come on over here to the Rose Garden. Let's bloom together.
Are you a black woman in your 30s, 40s, and more, and you struggle with your communication? Do you find your mind getting jumbled when you're getting ready to tell someone how you feel? Like you're just like, And when you're in a disagreement with somebody and they offend you, do you talk yourself out of saying what you really should say? Then you are dealing with what I call the to be seen and not heard syndrome. Now, when I was growing up, my mom, going in public places, going to people's houses, she would always say to me, children are to be seen and not heard. You do not have opinions. You do not have thoughts. You just sit there like a good little girl because you're not going to be embarrassing me in these people's houses. And what did that teach me? What did it teach us? Well, it taught me that what I have to say does not matter and that people don't care. That is not correct, people. And I want to help you guys, like I am working on myself, to overcome this toxic behavior. So here are 3 things that I want to share with you that I practice for myself, and they have revolutionized this for me. Number 1, positive self-talk. Start repeating to yourself, what I have to say matters. What I think matters. I matter. I am important. Number 2, journal your feelings. Now, I say this all the time. Write that down. It works because the importance of journaling is this. You are writing down how you feel, what happened in that moment. You go back and you read it. And I guarantee you, it'll be like a mirror and you'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe I thought those thoughts. Number 2, go back to that little girl that your mother said that, or a parent or an adult in your life said, you are to be seen and not heard. And let her know that she is to be heard and to be seen. And it's okay. Practice that for 7 days. Tell me how it make you feel. It's gonna make you feel good.
Oh my goodness, she brought up so many key points. Like, that was one of the main things in my next course and at FGU that I'm getting ready to launch, about how our parents used to say, you are to be seen, not heard. Don't spoken to. A lot of those terms and statements that our parents and grandparents made to us stifled our voices. See, as y'all hear me choking, okay? And what it did was it created a generation of men and women, myself, that are unable to communicate because we're too scared to speak when spoken to. I'm talking about, I could walk past someone and say good morning and they would look at me like they're scared to speak because we've been conditioned to not speak. And then it's so crazy. I hate to even say this, our grandparents and parents are so fucking narcissistic because y'all tell us don't speak when spoken to. But if you walk in a room, they'll say, you ain't gonna speak when you walk in here. You just taught me not to speak when spoken to. So what am I supposed to wait for you to speak? And then I can say good morning? Like, you gotta make up your mind. It's so gaslighty. And then they wonder why we're in the predicaments we're in now, where we're getting in relationships and we don't know how to communicate. And now we're having more single mothers and single fathers because people don't know how to communicate, because we've been told for so long, don't speak when spoken to. But we gonna get on to the next.
And I want to read our first question for the panel. Is, in our community, strength is often synonymous with silence. How has that cultural expectation shaped your mental health journey, and what did it cost you?
As a man, you know, we black men, we're taught not to cry. You got to be a man. You know what I'm saying? You hold everything up. You don't express yourself. Mm-hmm. Now, where do we get that from?
We get that I got that from growing up.
We get that mostly from growing up, and especially in today's time, most we get that from single mothers who telling us, you know, boy, be a man, blah, 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 blah. Now, hold on. And at the same time, these single mothers like yourself, you didn't have no man to guide you and see that thing. But you telling this boy how to be that and man. Now, he going to grow up in silence, keep all this shit inside. And when it come out as anger and he having problems at school and all those type of things.
Perpetuating a cycle.
But then here's the cycle is because the father's not there and the kid being told by a woman who don't have that, who's living in a masculine state of mind half the time, that fight or flight syndrome staying all like that, you know what I'm saying? And you can't really express yourself because you too busy being all those other things that you would have an opportunity to be that
So
feminine
many
side.
capes. Yeah, so many capes
right.
on. Yeah.
So you ain't got the time to be expressing yourself. But it comes out in other ways. You know what I'm saying?
Island and all that extra.
Whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
You know,
that
whatever.
Don't nobody want to hear.
That nobody else want to hear.
Ineffective.
But it keeps going in the cycle. So the question is now, how do we change that? So then we got a community full of us black people with the same problem. We circulating the same issues, and it all comes back down to being a family, the tribal thing.
I feel, because you asked the question, how do we change that? I feel that in here on the throne, we're not going to bring up nothing that we don't give our own personal experiences, our opinions, or whatever the case may be, and some facts where, you know what I'm saying, that you could do some things to change whatever narrative that we're speaking on. And this particular one, it has to be talked about more. That's the first, you know what I'm saying? Those of us that have a platform, a voice in society, can reach a lot of people, need to continually talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Let's make that an everyday conversation. You know what I'm saying? Instead of the Lakers and LeBron James and all this stuff. Let's make that our everyday conversation. Another thing is that has worked for me, and this is a hope shot for anybody that wants to get down with this, is I find when I speak anything out loud, I get my own answers.
Talk yourself through it.
Right, right. Say it out loud. It don't even have to be nobody there, but I prefer that you have somebody in front of you, a one-on-one with somebody, but speak it out loud, and it would all come together. Because, you know, a lot of times when I speak things out loud, I'm like, damn, bro, that don't even sound right.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. They touched on something very, very beautiful, and they're absolutely right. A lot of single mothers do be telling to be a man, be quiet, don't speak your feelings. And then we end up with so many African American men who are avoidance. Like, I just wish people would hear how they trained us, how they talk to us, so then they will understand the struggles we're dealing with now. We are dealing with the remnants of poor teachings that was based on slavery. Y'all literally rephrased what the white man was telling y'all and fed it to us to oppress your own children. Literally. And I know, and I'm not getting on our parents and our grandparents and our forefathers. I'm not getting on their backs. I'm not riding their backs. But what I'm saying is, now as us being the Gen Zs, the millennials, the ones awakening to these patterns and these habits that we know is causing this divide within not just relationships, but work. Like, people can't even communicate at work. That's terrible. You know, now that we're awakening to that, it is up to us to reframe and restructure how we communicate, how we're teaching our kids, so then when our kids get our age, they can communicate their feelings, their desires, their non-negotiables, their boundaries. They're able to communicate all that in a peaceful, mild manner. They said in theirs how silence became strength in our community, and it did. We literally went through 400 years of oppression, and a lot of people just moved on in silence. But when you allow yourself to go through so much, not allow, but when you go through so much trauma and oppression, the last thing, see, there it goes, excuse me. The last thing you want to do is oppress your voice, the oppress your truth, because all you are doing is re-traumatizing yourself the same way you were traumatized. That was such a good video. Oh my gosh. We gotta start and another thing I want to say, I'm sorry, it's like my thoughts is everywhere right now with this, because when I tell you, when I realized where my block was on my voice. Like, I wasn't able to speak my truth, and I realized it. So now I'm like, I gotta tell the world, I gotta tell the world. We have to start creating safe spaces for ourselves first and foremost, to release those inner feelings that we feel, but also for others. We can't be so quick to shut someone down that's crying, or especially our children. You know what I'm saying? If they're having an issue or something, like back in the day, our parents used to be so quick to pop us because we crying. Why not just figure out why we crying? I was talking to a guy who wanted to date me. He smoked, so that's why I cut him off. He said, I'm more of an old school father, because I said, well, how do you deal with kids? Because I come with kids. You know, I don't want any more, but I come with kids. I have 3 girls. And he was like, well, I'm come from the old school. I'm one of them people that don't speak unless spoken to. You know what I'm saying? And don't be doing all that noise. I said, well, hold on. I am not that type of parent. I'm the type of parent, if there's something going on with my kid or they're acting out, I need to know why, so then I can fix the why instead of abusing them for what. And he was like, oh, well, I do that too. No, you don't. That wasn't your first answer. Your first answer was, you a kid, shut the fuck up. For real, for real. That was your first answer. I was so glad when I said, do you smoke? He said, yes. I said, oh, I can't talk to you, no way. I cut that off so fast. What you not about to do is come into me and my children's life with your old school bullshit that I escaped from being raised in with my dad. You're not about to bring that to my kids. No, this is another one. This is a good one. It's a good one.
Because I called her a bitch. Why should I have to listen to you?
Because
you have
I
to
have
listen
feelings
to
too.
me. I know you have feelings, but I'm the adult, and I'm not gonna tell you nothing wrong, honey.
You
cannot
expect me to sit there, listen to you talk, and that's it. That's done.
No, I'll give you your chance to talk.
And when I talk, you over talk me and change it to how you feel.
Okay.
Do you feel like that ever happens?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I give her a chance to talk. She don't never give me a damn chance to talk. That's why I slept out of her when we was in the damn car.
Okay.
Because she kept running her mouth. One thing, you cannot talk back to me.
Me explaining how I feel is talking back
I know what she's talking
Wow.
about because I called
to you.
That's deep. Oh my God. This almost could be a Black trauma video.
That whole myth of the strict parent, their parent wasn't strict. They was emotionally unstable and unpredictable. Let's just be real. They claimed it as structure and they said it was raising you right. They even told people you was a hard-headed child that needed discipline. But see, real structure is clear rules, predictable consequences, and consistency, no matter what their mood is. You ain't get none of that. What you got was, you'll get a whooping for laughing too loud one day, and then the next day, you'll get told to be funny or tell that joke that you told 2 days ago. You'll get punished for talking back, but you was just asking a simple question, or you was trying to get some clarity about a subject or a topic or whatever your parent asked. I was told no phones after 9. My phone got taken. They called me at 9:30 and they got mad at me because I didn't pick up the phone. That's not structure. That's instability wrapped in the lie of tough love. And let's just talk about what it really looked like. The whole house changed based on their mood. One wrong comment could ruin the vibe for the rest of the day. They had to replay.
Oh my gosh. I just went to... What he just said was dead freaking on. I just went to dinner with my children and my niece and my sister-in-law, my ex-sister-in-law. But we're still like this. That's my girl. Hey, Mimi. And she said, I thought your parents was going to come. And I was like, no. And I'm kind of glad. And she laughed. And I was like, no, I'm for real. I'm like, the room, the air in the room and the energy in the room shifts when they come in. Like, because they're so intense within themselves. When they walk in, the air in the room just gets... and it's like, no, just let us have fun today. Get back.
Your tone in your head before even speaking. You start a sentence, then stop just in case. You learn to read the room at a young age. You stayed quiet, not out of respect, but out of survival. That wasn't discipline. That was emotional.
You stay silent, not out of respect, but out of survival. Man, not him dropping gems in this little. Okay.
Weather. And you had to check the forecast every time you walked in the door. And of course we survived, we adapted, we coped, we made it out, but it came with a price. Now you're hyper aware of everyone's energy. You apologize for things we...
Oh my God. Ooh, child. I gotta pat my weave on now. I gotta pat my weave. Yes, this is weave. That's how it was with my dad. We couldn't just bust in the room happy with him. Like, you bust in the room happy and laughing too loud. What's all that fucking noise? It based on his mood is on whether we could have been happy or not. Oops.
Didn't do just to avoid tension. You shut down emotionally just to keep the peace. We made ourselves small, quiet, careful, and invisible. Because you couldn't be a kid, you had to be a mood manager. You had to smile when you wanted to scream. You had to act unbothered when you were breaking. And that didn't go away when you turned 18. You flinch when people raise their voice, even playfully. You overthink every message, every look, every silence. You wait for people to switch up, even when they show you love. You call it peace, but really, you're just numb. And you don't know how to trust consistently because your blueprint was chaos. Now as an adult, you either shut down or explode because there's no in between. You avoid conflict like it's violence. You say I'm fine when you really need help. And you assume people are mad at you even if they say nothing. You self-sabotage good relationships because your nervous system only knows tension. You were not taught emotional regulation. You were taught emotional survival. But now that we grown, see, we gotta be the ones to break the spell because strict ain't yelling, strict ain't
What did I just say? What did I just say? Gen Z, millennials, it's our responsibility to stop it. It ends with us. If you are an Aquarius sun or an Aquarius rising, you have Pluto transiting your sign. I have Pluto in my first house. It end with me. Oh, preach on, brother. Preach on.
fear. Strict ain't having your child scared to speak. Discipline is love with clarity. Stability is love with structure. Emotional safety is the new standard, and you ain't crazy for still feeling tension because you was raised in a house where rules were based on pain and not principles. Did your parents have structure, or were you just reacting to their moods your entire childhood? Drop your stories in the comment.
Well, Rosebuds, that is the end of this episode here on the Rose Garden YouTube channel. I hope you all took away from these videos probably some subconscious things that may have came up while you was listening to it, because when I tell you, it tapped on so much for me when I was going through finding videos to post for you guys that could better explain what I was feeling and going through better than I could really say myself. But that last video, baby, listen, he tapped on so much. It's not funny. So I want to invite you all, if you haven't already, by the time you guys see this video, hit subscribe, hit like, ring that bell so you know when I post. I also want to invite you all to head on over to Skool. The link to the Rose Garden University is in the description box below. It is at the top of that description box, so you do not have to look for it. I have a online course for my black and brown sisters. Anyone could really join, but I made the course specifically for black and brown sisters because our struggles is a little bit different, and I am literally teaching you all how I came through so many of my struggles from my point of view, what successfully worked for me, and I've condensed it down into an online course, and I'm building that community on Skool. So if ever you have any questions on how to rebuild your femininity, what to do in the instance of dealing with a difficult baby father, any of the above, how to communicate, how to break that generational trauma, and cycles, so that it ends with you, so then you can go on and have a live long prosperous life, and then your kids can carry on the live long prosperous life and carry on that feminine energy that your daughters need to carry on, and then your sons can be in their masculine energy because they were raised by a mom who was healed. Okay, so that is the end of my spiel. Sorry, I had to record it this way because as I was editing, I said, oh my god, I never did an exit video. But it worked out because I got my school up and published, so you guys can go online and look at the Rose Garden University, or RGU. I love you guys to the moon and back. Like I said, thank you for sticking with me, tuning in. I know I've been gone for a minute, but I think I'm back and I'm better now. Peace. Bye.